Hey everyone, it's FinalRound. My name is Jordan, and we have 4 games for Sunday's slate of basketball. The Olympic break is closing in quickly. We're gonna have a huge break for WNBA basketball, so let's try to do the best we can, and try to see some green before we get to that Olympic break. And if you haven't, I did put out a video of my experience at Copa America for the semifinal here in Charlotte, Colombia versus Uruguay. If you haven't checked that out, I think it's a pretty cool video. I put a lot of time into it with all the editing. And I also will do a video for the Home Run Derby. I swept that last year, so hopefully we can sweep that again for the Home Run Derby picks. Those are Prizepicks lines. But as usual, more common theme for WNBA. I don't have all the lines out. I do have 3 different picks that will be in the video. I'll give a breakdown on the games, and I'll put picks in the pinned comment later as they come out if I see something that I really like. So you will see an image that comes up on the screen. That'll be from a data app called Outlier. There's a link in the description to give you a 7-day free trial for Outlier. So this first game is going to be the Mercury versus the Sun. This is a minus 6.5 spread in the favor of the Sun. Right now we have questionable statuses for Natasha Cloud, Brittany Griner, and Diana Taurasi. They could leave them out until the Olympic break because Mercury are just really struggling. Clea Copper did the best she could against Indiana, but now they're going up against a really tough Connecticut Sun team. Mercury play at the second fastest pace, but that is with full strength. The Sun play at the slowest pace. I have a feeling their pace is going to dominate this game, no matter how fast the Mercury try to push it. So as far as points go, the Mercury give up the third most, and part of that is their pace. Connecticut doesn't score much, but they're just efficient, and they actually don't get many assists for the Sun. I don't know how many picks I'm gonna like too much from this game, just because it's going to be a very underwomaned squad for the Mercury, and it's going to be Clea Copper trying to do everything she can against this really tough defense. Connecticut gives up the second least points, the least rebounds, the third least assists. They're just a really tough team. And Phoenix, like I said, gives up the third most points, fourth most rebounds, and fifth most assists. So really good opportunity here for overs for Connecticut players, and really good opportunity for unders for Mercury players. If they put Clea Copper's line up there, like around 26 or so, it's going to be tough to take an over on her just because of this tough defense, but she can definitely get it done because she's going to have a lot of volume. So I'm going to jump into this next game. It's going to be the Aces versus the Mystics. It's a minus 12 spread for the Aces. This is going to be one of the faster paced games of the night or the afternoon. The Aces play at the fastest pace, Mystics at the 6th fastest, so right there in the middle. And if you look at Asia Wilson, she's played against them twice this year, and she actually didn't do that great. And Washington Mystics aren't that good of a team, but they really held her in check. Jackie Young is someone to look at for points, and then Kelsey Plum had a really good game, and then like a 2-point game versus them. So Washington's literally giving up the 5th most points, 6th most rebounds, 6th least assists. They're right there in the middle for pretty much everything. And then the Aces, they give up the 5th least points, the 3rd most rebounds, in the 5th least assist. And this is going to lead to one of my picks that I have. And that pick is going to be Stephanie Dolson of the Washington Mystics, over 5.5 rebounds at minus 116. She's gone over in 6 out of the last 9 games. The Aces, like I said, they're giving up the 3rd most rebounds, and she has 7 against them on June 29th. She did not play in the other game against them. Her minutes have increased as the season has gone along. She's averaging 30 minutes over the past 10 games. And when I filtered with Outlier to games with 26 plus minutes, she's gone over 9 out of the last 14 with a 64% hit rate. Part of why she's she doesn't get so many rebounds is she's a three-point shooter. She stands out on the perimeter, and she doesn't have many opportunities for offensive rebounds, which is kind of huge in the WNBA when it comes to rebounding. But she has done well against them in that prior game, and she's getting the minutes to get the defensive rebounds. And her line is low for a center, so A'ja Wilson will be down low. And she can disrupt her, as we've seen. But A'ja Wilson is kind of on a tear right now. We'll see if she slows down a little bit. I wouldn't take an under on A'ja Wilson because of her history against this team, just because she's been on fire. But I don't know if I'd take an over on A'ja Wilson. So Stephanie Dolson, her scoring, she's been scoring really well. Her line for scoring is at 10.5 or 11.5. I didn't want to add these together because her volume shooting has decreased as of late over the past few games. She was shooting a lot more shots, and you'll see if you check out the stats, you'll see she had a huge game against the Aces, but she made a ton of threes, and I can't see her replicating that, making like 5 or 6 3-pointers. So I'm just going to stick with the rebounds part of it. It seems like the much simpler play for the center to get rebounds in a good matchup where they're giving up a decent amount of rebounds. So if you guys could, please like the video, and if you haven't, please subscribe to the channel. If you have a little bit of extra time, could you leave a comment for the algorithm? You can say anything. You could put a number, you can say hello, it doesn't matter. It just really helps get this video out there to more people to see, and I appreciate anyone who does that. This next game, I love picking the Fever games. They're fast paced, a lot of scoring. Fever versus the Lynx. Oh no, it's not going to be fast paced. Here we go. They favor the Lynx at 2.5 points. The Fils Collier is questionable again. They're saying that they think they might hold her out until after the Olympic break. The Lynx did not look good last game against the Seattle Storm. So some of these rankings, if she doesn't play, are a little bit iffy because the Storm looked really good. So the Fever play at the 5th fastest pace. The Lynx, the 2nd slowest pace. Points wise, Indiana giving up the 4th most points, the 2nd lowest rebounds, and then the 4th most assists. So if you're looking at Minnesota plays, you want to look at points and assists. But someone like Caleb McBride, who went off last game, she's very inconsistent. It's just really tough right now to pick a Minnesota player with the consistency or lack of consistency that we've seen. For Minnesota, they give up the least amount of points, the most rebounds, and then the least amount of assists, which is going to lead into my next pick. And you guys probably already know what it is, but it's going to be Caitlin Clark, over 15.5 rebounds plus assist at -114. Adding in that rebounds because that very good rebound matchup. She's gone over in 8 out of the last 10 games. And Minnesota, they're ranked the toughest matchup for assists. But Caitlin Clark has been on a tear. And like I said, they did not look good with Napheesa Collier out last game. Skylar Diggins-Smith had 12 assists against them last game. So if Collier is out, they could be out of sorts once again. And Caitlin Clark has just been finding her teammates very easily, making really great passes. I watched that last game. She was making some really tough passes, hitting some gaps that some NBA players can't hit. So she's definitely got an eye and a talent for passing the ball, and it's starting to bloom and it's starting to show. And if you want to stick with just one line, of course, I'm going to, suggest assist. This assist line keeps going up and down. So it stays at 8.5 for -140, and then it'll bump up to 9.5 for +112 is what I saw was that. And then it went back down to 8.5. So people were taking the under. I think it's a good bet if you get it for plus money at the 9.5 range, +112. I think that's solid. If you want to take a chance on just her assist, I think she can get this done. If Skylar Diggins-Smith was able to do this and get 12 of them, where the Seattle Storm, they dictated the pace. Fever want to play fast too. if Collier is not there, I think the Fever can set that pace. And Minnesota is playing pretty fast too, with Caleb McBride pushing the pace out there the last game. So I'm going with Caitlin Clark over 15.5 rebounds plus assists. I think this is just a staple play right now. She's been just super consistent, the most consistent player in the WNBA right now. So before I get into this last game, I want to shout out my partners. If you want to try out a new app, Underdog Fantasy, Sleeper, ParlayPlay, and ChalkBoard, you can use promo code FinalRound11 on any of these. I'll match your first deposit up to $100. There's links in the description. I'll take you straight there with the promo codes. Thank you to anyone who uses those. So this last game is going to be the Atlanta Dream versus the Seattle Storm. This is a minus 13.5 spread in favor of the Storm. The Storm look like they're playing like peak basketball with that game against Minnesota. Dream play at the 5th slowest pace, so they're right there in the middle. Storm play the 4th fastest. So this could take off and be another fast-paced game, like the Storm were able to speed up Minnesota last game. So Atlanta, they're giving up these 6 most points, 6 least rebounds, 6 most assists, right there in the middle for everything. So basically just average. Seattle giving up the 3rd least points. They're pretty tough defensively. 5th most rebounds and the 2nd least assist. Tough defensively. It's going to be tough for the Dream. If Seattle keeps that form that they had, this could be a blowout. But this is going to lead into one of my next picks. As soon as these came out, there was one player I was looking for specifically, and I found her. So it's Skylar Diggins-Smith. Over 7.5 assists at plus 102. She's gone over in 7 out of the last 10 games. She has really taken over that distributor role, finding players. She isn't scoring as much. So like an under on her points is possible. She was scoring a lot to start off the year, and then it's kind of slowed down, and now she's kind of taken on that like point guard type role, finding all of her teammates. So with Atlanta being in the middle there, giving up these 6 most assists, I'm looking for Skylar Diggins-Smith to take advantage of that, take advantage of the potential pace being picked up because of Seattle's type of play and Skylar Diggins-Smith continuing to get assists. In that last game where she got 12 assists, she didn't even have to play the whole game. She played less than 30 minutes and was able to get this done in a blowout of Minnesota. Now she's got a much worse team she's going up against. So I'm looking for her to be unselfish in finding her teammates and getting 8+ assists for plus 102 even money. I really like this bet. So that's just a quick breakdown of everything. I have a Discord, link is in the description. You can hop on in there and check it out. There's conversation going on all day long. It's free. We have a lot of Green Days in there for WNBA, and that makes me think of the band Green Day. But as far as a recap goes, I had those in the pinned comment, but I had Caitlin Clark over rebounds and assists. It's actually down right now because of that matchup against Minnesota. So I think that makes it even better. She hit that. Then I had Aaliyah Boston over points. It was at 13.5. It was down a little bit because she had a bad game before. She scored around 20, I think. And then I had Elena Smith at rebounds to get 6, and she did not do well. She got 2. And then I had a Gray of the Atlanta Dream to make 2 3-pointers. I knew she was going to take 5 attempts, and she took 5 attempts, and she missed every single one of them. She had made 6 or 7 3-pointers against the Aces previously, and then made none in that game. So the Fever are feeding families with their props. They're doing really well. Just the way they've been playing, they continue to do better and better. Kelsey Mitchell was scoring. It has been huge. Caitlin Clark, points, rebounds, and assists, and rebounds and assists, and just assists. Aaliyah Boston with rebounds and points rebounds. Those have been great. Then Alyssa Smith for rebounds. Her lines are not out yet, but I'm definitely going to keep an eye out to where her rebounds line is. I think that's going to be a good look. So that's 4 games. Check out the pinned comment if I find anything else that I like. But that's 3 different plays for you all. I hope you do well. I hope you have a great Sunday. So God bless you. It's the final round. My name is Jordan. I will catch you on the next one. Bye.